Hello everyone. Welcome again. We'll be starting history chapter 2, that is colonial rule in India. Okay. In today's video we will discuss in this chapter topic of Battle of Buxar. In previous video we already discussed uh, Battle of Plassey, and now in this video we discuss about Battle of Buxar. So what was the Battle of Buxar? So it was a battle fought between the English forces and a joint army of the Nawab of Awadh, Nawab of Bengal, and the Mughal Emperor. The battle was the result of misuse of trade privileges granted by the Nawab of Bengal and also the colonist ambitions of East India Company. So now start this video with this topic. So the British victory in the Battle of Plassey gave them political control over Bengal. They were able to place their puppet rulers Mir Jafar and later Mir Qasim as the Nawab of Bengal. In the beginning, Mir Qasim assigned the Zagir of Burdwan, Midnapur and Chittagaon to the company and gave valuable presents to its officers. So प्लासी की लड़ाई में अंग्रेज़ों की जीत ने उन्हें बंगाल पर पॉलिटिकल कंट्रोल दे दिया था। वे अपने कठपुतली शासक मीर जाफ़र और बाद में मीर कासिम, जो कि मीर जाफ़र के ही सन इन लॉ थे, उनको बंगाल के नवाब के रूप में स्थापित करने में सक्षम हो गए। और स्टार्टिंग में मीर कासिम ने कंपनी को बर्दवान, मिदनापुर और चटगांव की जागीर सौंपी और अपने अधिकारों का बहुमूल्य उपहार भी दिया। सो however he proved to be a capable ruler who attempted to improve the administration from the very beginning of his rule। सो हालांकि वह एक सक्षम शासक साबित हुआ जिसने अपने शासन की शुरुआत से ही प्रशासन में सुधार करने का प्रयास किया। He did not wish to remain a puppet which angered the British, और वह एक कठपुतली नहीं रहना चाहता था जिससे अंग्रेज़ों को गुस्सा आए। मीर कासिम वॉज डिफीटेड बाय द ब्रिटिश इन 1763, और मीर कासिम जो थे 1763 में अंग्रेज़ों से हार गए थे। ही फेल्ड टू अवध एंड फॉर्म्ड एन अलायंस विथ द नवाब ऑफ अवध शुजा-उद-दौला एंड मुग़ल एम्परर शाह आलम सेकेंड। सो अंग्रेज़ों से हारने के बाद वह अवध भाग गए और अवध के जो नवाब शुजा-उद-दौला और मुग़ल सम्राट शाह आलम सेकेंड के साथ उन्होंने गठबंधन कर लिया। and their combined army was defeated by the British forces at Battle of Buxar in October 1764। और अक्टूबर में 1764 में बक्सर की लड़ाई में उनकी जो गठबंधन से सेना थी, संयुक्त सेना को ब्रिटिश सेना ने हराया था। सो Before the Battle of Buxar, one more battle was fought. It was the Battle of Plassey that gave the British a firm foothold over the region of Bengal. As a result of the Battle of Plassey, Siraj-ud-Daulah was dethroned as the Nawab of Bengal and was replaced by Mir Jafar. After Mir Jafar became the new Bengal Nawab, the British made him their puppet, but Mir Jafar got involved with Dutch East India Company. Mir Qasim, who is son-in-law of Mir Jafar, was supported by the British to become the new Nawab, and under the pressure of the company, Mir Jafar decided to resign in favor of Mir Qasim. So, Mir Jafar was now the Nawab of Bengal. The company was not even at the time was interested in the administration or conquest and kept expansion of trade as their first priority. Over a period of time, even Mir Jafar got tried of the company demands and protested. In return, company deposed and installed Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim then protested, taking the help of Nawab of Awadh, Shuja-ud-Dawla, Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, and Raja Balwant Singh of Kasi. It turned into a war. The war is called Battle of Buxar in 1764 at a small place in Bihar on the river bank of Ganga, and Mir Qasim was defeated in the battle, and Mir Jafar was made Nawab of Bengal for the second time. Battle of Buxar was decisive victory of East India Company in India. So now we will discuss consequence of बैटल ऑफ बक्सर सो इस जो बैटल ऑफ बक्सर है इसका परिणाम क्या हुआ सो द मुगल एम्परर बिकम द पेंशनर ऑफ द ब्रिटिश ओके सो फर्स्ट जो परिणाम हुआ बैटल ऑफ बक्सर का वह यह था कि जितने भी मुगल एम्परर थे वह ब्रिटिशर्स के पेंशन भोगी बन गए सो सेकेंड इन द सेटलमेंट विद द नवाब ऑफ बंगाल द इंग्लिश गॉट द राइट ऑफ दीवानी और द राइट टू कलेक्ट रेवेन्यू इन द प्रोविंस ऑफ बंगाल बिहार एंड उड़ीसा सेकेंड जो परिणाम हुआ वह यह था कि बंगाल के नवाब के साथ समझौते में अंग्रेज़ों को दीवानी का अधिकार या बंगाल बिहार और उड़ीसा प्रांत में रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट करने का राइट मिल गया थर्ड बोथ द नवाब ऑफ बंगाल एंड द मुगल एम्परर बिकेम डिपेंडेंट ऑन द ब्रिटिश सो थर्ड जो रिज़ल्ट हुआ यह कि बंगाल के नवाब और मुगल बादशाह दोनों ही अंग्रेज़ों पर आश्रित हो गए सो इन कंक्लूजन after the war, Mir Jafar was made to pay huge expension to the company for the maintenance of their army and meet their trade expansions, but still the British were not satisfied. After the death of Mir Jafar, company decided to take the control itself, and in 1765 company was appointed as Diwan of provinces of Bengal by the Mughal emperors. The company now have got the enormous power to exploit the resources and people of Bengal, and those company officials who earned enormous wealth from India were called Nawabs, just like us anglicized version of Nawab. So I hope you all understood very well Battle of Buxar and consequence of the Battle of Buxar. Now we will discuss topic about ड्यूल गवर्नेंस इन बंगाल मीन्स बंगाल में द्वैत शासन की जो प्रणाली थी उसके बारे में हम डिस्कस करेंगे सो द बैटल ऑफ बक्सर इस्टेब्लिश्ड द सिस्टम ऑफ ड्यूल गवर्नमेंट इन बंगाल विच गेव द ब्रिटिश द राइट टू कलेक्ट रेवेन्यू सो बक्सर की लड़ाई के ने बंगाल में दोहरी शासन की व्यवस्था या द्वैत शासन व्यवस्था भी कहते हैं, द्वैत शासन प्रणाली भी कहते हैं इसे, या फिर इंग्लिश में डुअल गवर्नेंस कहा जाता है। इसकी व्यवस्था को स्टैब्लिश कर दिया, जिससे अंग्रेज़ों को राइट टू रेवेन्यू मिल गया था, और द राइट ऑफ निज़ामत इंक्लूडिंग मेंटेनेंस ऑफ लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, dispensation of criminal justice, and that of defending the frontiers remained with the Nawab, who was paid an annual amount by the British to meet the expenses. So जब बैटल ऑफ बक्सर के बाद बंगाल में डुअल गवर्नमेंट स्थापित हो गई, जिससे अंग्रेज़ों को रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट करने का राइट मिल गया, तो और साथ ही जो निज़ामत है उसका भी अधिकार मिला, जिसमें निज़ामत के अधिकार में कानून और व्यवस्था बनाए रखना और क्रिमिनल जस्टिस की व्यवस्था और सीमाओं की जितनी भी रक्षा करना, ये निज़ामत में शामिल था। और नवाब के पास ये सारे जो राइट्स थे वो मिले, जिसके खर्च पूरा करने के लिए अंग्रेज़ों द्वारा जो एनुअल अमाउंट था उसका भुगतान किया गया था। और द अरेंजमेंट ऑफ डुअल गवर्नमेंट वॉज पुट टू एन एंड अंडर गवर्नर जनरल वॉरेन हेस्टिंग इन 1772, और 1772 में गवर्नर जनरल वॉरेन हेस्टिंग्स के तहत डुअल गवर्नमेंट्स की इस व्यवस्था को ख़त्म कर दिया गया, समाप्त कर दिया गया। कलकत्ता वॉज मेड द कैपिटल और द सीट ऑफ पावर ऑफ द ब्रिटिश इन इंडिया। इट वॉज लेटर इन 1911 दैट दिल्ली वॉज डिक्लेयर्ड एज द कैपिटल ऑफ इंडिया। कलकत्ता को भारत में अंग्रेज़ों की राजधानी या सत्ता की सीट ऑफ पावर बना दिया गया, और बाद में 1911 में दिल्ली को भारत की राजधानी घोषित किया गया। सो हियर योर टुडेज कंटेंट इज़ completed. I hope you all understood very well. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. An animation video is being shown to you to understand the complete concept of today's topic. So please everyone carefully watch completely.
It was fought between the English on the one side and Mir Qasim, Shah Alam II and Shuja'ud-Dawla on the other. After the Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal, but he was a Nawab in name only. He was a mere puppet in the hands of the English. His treasury was soon emptied by the demands of the company's officials. The company and its servants were no longer interested in mere trade with India. They wanted to use their control over the Nawab of Bengal to drain the wealth of the province. Mir Jafar could not meet the demands of the company and its officials. The responsibility of running the administration lay on his shoulders, but he had no powers. As a result, the administration deteriorated. The English charged him with the neglect of administration and deposed him in 1760. His son-in-law, Mir Qasim, was made the Nawab of Bengal. He rewarded the company by granting it the zamindari of the districts of Burdwan, Midnapur and Chittagong. He was an able, efficient and strong ruler, determined to free himself from the foreign control. He improved both the financial condition of the kingdom and administration and raised a modern and disciplined army. All this was not to the liking of the English. The English merchants carried on private trade without any duties. They began to abuse this privilege. They sold their permits to the Indian merchants, who also began to carry duty-free trade. The Nawab abolished all the duties and deprived the English of the illegal profit. This enraged the company. At the same time, the company and its officials began to oppress and ill-treat the officers of the Nawab and the poor people of Bengal. There could not exist two masters in Bengal. Mir Qasim was defeated in a series of battles in 1763 and fled to Awadh. He formed an alliance with Shujauddaulah, the Nawab of Awadh, and Shah Alam II, the Mughal emperor. The three Indian monarchs clashed with the company's army at Buxar on 22nd October 1764, but were badly defeated. Mir Qasim fled away and was never heard of again. Shujauddaulah and Shah Alam II submitted, and the war came to an end by the Treaty of Allahabad in 1765. The Nawab of Awadh was made to pay a huge war indemnity of 50 lakh rupees to the company and cede the districts of Kara and Allahabad. These districts were handed over to Shah Alam II. Shah Alam II granted the Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha to the company. The English promised him a pension of rupees 26 lakh a year. This battle is very important in the history of India. The English defeated three Indian princes, became the masters of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha, and used Awadh later on as a buffer state between their possessions and the Marathas. This battle completed the work begun by the Battle of Plassey and made the English company a sovereign power in India. How did the assumption of Diwani benefit the East India Company? The grant of Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha to the East India Company by the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II greatly benefited it. It solved the major problem of the company by providing it vast finances which it was lacking in buying Indian goods. Formerly, it had to import gold and silver from Britain in large quantities to buy most of the goods in India. At that time, Britain had no goods to sell in India which could fetch her finances to buy Indian goods. But the Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha not only helped her to meet administrative expenses, but also enabled her to buy Indian goods to be exported to Britain. In short, we can say that the assumption of Diwani by the East India Company solved all her problems to purchase cotton and silk textiles in India, to bear the expenses of the administrative setups, to maintain the troops and to carry on her various building activities in India, like building the company port and offices at Calcutta.